You're looking at a crime scene, but there are no police officers, new yellow tappy. Just the brutal silence of a savanna where the thermometer registers temperatures that would make your car engine seize up. There, in the middle of nowhere, something is happening. Something that violates all the rules of hygiene, safety, and survival that our species has cherished for millennia. You see a creature plunging its head into a carcass infested with anthrax, botulism, and cholera. Logically, this creature should be dead in minutes. Its immune system should collapse. Its organs should fail. But it doesn't die. It feeds and it thrives. What if I told you that the only barrier between humanity and a global plague of greater proportions than the last pandemic does unoccur because these monsters are the barrier that contains all evil, the elite cleaning crew of a planet that tries to kill us every day? In this video, ULL discovered that everything you've been taught about disgust and filth is actually cutting-edge technology in disguise. Welcome to Wargenadio, and today we're going to discover everything about the incredible vultures. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the video. Let's start by tearing up the basic biology textbook. Forget the idea of an ugly bird that eats carrots. That's an insulting simplification. What we're analyzing here is an evolutionary anomaly. We'll begin our flight by looking at the dossier of chemical digestion. Most living beings on Earth operate within a safe pH range. Your stomach, for example, is acidic. Of course, it needs to be to digest that hamburger, but it's a polite acid with a pH around 2. It's strong, but controlled. A vulture's digestive system is more like a biological nuclear reactor. We're talking about an internal environment with a pH that borders on 0 if you don't understand the logarithmic pH scale. Let me translate that into pure terror. The difference between pH 2 and pH 0 is not small. It's an exponential scale. The acid inside these birds is 100 times more corrosive than what you have in your stomach right now. It's comparable to car battery acid. If you put a steel razor blade inside a vulture's stomach, it wouldn't just go blind, it would disappear. It would melt like sugar in hot water. And why would nature create something so volatile inside a living organism? Because this creature's diet is literally composed of biological weapons. The vulture is an obligate scavenger. It doesn't hunt for sport. It scours the planet for decaying flesh. And rotten flesh isn't just spoiled food. It's an ecosystem of death. We're talking about lethal bacteria, Clostridium botulinum, Bacillus intrusis, Salmonella. Names that cause panic in public health departments around the world are just seasoning for the vulture. When this bird swallows a piece of meat infected with anthrax, the acid reactor kicks in. The bacteria don't stand a chance. Their cell walls are instantly disintegrated. The viral DNA is broken. What would be a death sentence for a lion, a wolf, or you? For the vulture is just protein. They are the endpoint of disease, the place where the plague goes to die, as they literally devour it. But the design of this machine doesn't stop at the stomach. Imagine you're in the desert. The sun is beating down on your skin. The sand reflects the heat, and you're overheating. What do? You seek shade. You drink ice water. The vulture doesn't do that. The vulture looks at thermodynamics and decides to play dirty. They practice something that scientists politely call eurohidrosis. But let's call it what it really is. Tactical chemical warfare. When the temperature rises to critical levels, the vulture deliberately defecates and urinates on its own legs. I know, your modern human mind is recoiling in disgust right now. But stop and analyze the engineering behind it. The mixture of feces and urine is liquid. By covering the legs, which are highly vascularized, this liquid begins to evaporate under the scorching sun. And evaporation steals heat from the blood flowing through the legs. It's the same principle as your air conditioner, but using bodily fluids as a natural freezer.